Do bow bow. Ding 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 ding. Do bow bow.
Beautiful. Oh,
Do.
boom, boom.
Should we just start the damn thing?
I
Because we're on our...
I think we're ready to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're a nerd. I know you are, but what am I? You're an idiot.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. Download 10 episodes, get the 11th episode free. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darren.
Hey, I'm Darren.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. On this episode, Mike and I are going to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other in like a month.
It feels like that.
We went, like, they have No Nut November. We had no podcast July.
That's okay. Yeah, and it felt just the same. Yeah, just the same. No, see,
We really haven't.
we recorded a bunch of episodes in advance. Today is August 8th.
We recorded the week before July 4th. We literally did not see each other,
I know. Well,
in a professional sense,
Right.
through July.
Well, no, today is August 8th, the day that we're recording this.
Yeah.
And the episode that dropped today was our July 4th holiday
That's right.
Florida
We
trip.
did see each other
So
at
we're
the end
like
of July.
we're like a month behind. And I keep joking about whenever we record stuff in advance, like someone's going to die, and then we'll talk about it a month later.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Pee Wee Herman today.
And Sinead O'Connor.
And Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Exactly. But tonight, my wife had to have back surgery.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about that. My son Jacob, he had to, well, he didn't have to, but he had college orientation. And honest to God, my wife did the funniest thing she's ever done in the 23 years that I've known her. And I've never laughed so hard in my life.
She had back surgery.
That was before. That was the
That
day
wasn't the
before.
funny
It was-
part.
No, it wasn't
All
the funny
right.
part. So,
Okay.
and then Mike's gonna bitch about
All kinds of
Nicole
stuff.
Kidman.
Yeah.
So, welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, we've talked
Yeah.
for a couple of years now
Yeah.
about doing an alternate podcast.
Yes.
Because we if you're a new listener,
Your old buddy Mike and Darren.
we don't do any politics.
No.
We don't. We talk about some serious things periodically, but for the
closest-
most part, we
yeah.
keep it light.
The closest we came to a serious episode was when we had Patrick Cronin on,
Yeah.
talking about the Screen Actors Guild
Yeah.
and the writers'
But he was
strike.
still one of the more hilarious
he
guests
was,
we've ever
He was
had.
great.
But
82 years old.
yeah.
And just fantastic.
Yeah.
Great guest.
But we generally try to keep things relatively light.
Yes.
I don't know where I was going.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, what happened?
Welcome to Irritable Dad
Welcome to
Syndrome.
the show.
My wife, God love her, she had to have back surgery.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We went to college orientation. My son Jacob is going to the University of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He's going to the Blue Ash campus.
Okay.
He had orientation.
In Blue Ash?
Yeah, we went
Okay.
to orientation. Now, Libby's back was sore. Okay. It hurt, but she could
Okay.
still walk. She could still move. She could sit down, stand up. She was in great spirits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she had like a headache.
Okay.
And every now and then her back would hurt. She would feel kind of nauseous. Okay.
Okay.
So, but outside of that, she was still functionable.
Mhm.
So we get home.
She was
and-
still a useful member of society.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get home from orientation and she's getting ready to go and get in the shower. And I am doing something podcast related.
Yeah.
When I hear Jacob scream at the top of his lungs, "Dad, get in here."
Oh.
Holy crap. As she was getting ready to get in the shower,
Yeah.
something popped. I
Oh.
don't know, popped or blew or what.
Okay.
She had the worst pain she has ever had in her life. And the pain radiated all the way down her leg. She could not feel her right foot. She couldn't feel her fingers. And she was just, Mike, she was screaming. She was crying. She couldn't walk. She couldn't get up or get down. She couldn't sit. She couldn't lay in a certain position
So,
without the
okay.
pain being just unbearable.
Can I interrupt you for a moment?
Yeah.
I stubbed my toe a couple times. I'm just-
Her pain was almost as bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy.
I know, almost
Okay.
as bad as the pain was for you.
Okay.
You.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I took Libby to the emergency room,
Okay.
and this was when they gave her what I like to call a John Belushi amount of drugs.
They gave her a Belushi.
They gave her, first thing they gave her was some ibuprofen. Then they gave her a lidocaine patch on the back. They gave her
Okay.
Robaxin, which is a muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
Then they gave her prednisone, which is a steroid
Oh,
which
yeah.
reduces inflammation.
Yeah.
Then they shot her in the arm with some morphine.
Oh.
Okay. And then they gave her a couple of other things that
Okay.
I cannot remember. None of it was even close to touching the pain. Nothing. They gave her an x-ray, which they found nothing. And then they did a C scan, which they found nothing. And this was Thursday night. We were at the emergency room, got home at 4 a.m. Now, on Wednesday, her back was getting really sore. And she's like, I'm going to have to call a doctor and see about this.
Yeah.
So we had a Friday appointment.
Yeah.
Scheduled with one of her orthopedic doctors.
Yeah.
We already had an appointment. We're like, okay, great. We'll go Friday. The pain is unbearable, Mike.
Yeah.
Unbearable. She can't walk. She can't sit. She can't stand. And nothing that they gave her at the emergency room was touching the pain.
If she were a horse,
Yeah.
they would
If
have.
she were a horse, they would have taken her behind the barn
Yeah.
and put her down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all you farmers out there.
Yeah.
We we go and the doctor looks and she says, I suspect you've probably got a pinched nerve or a herniated disc.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm going to schedule you for an MRI and you'll probably get it sometime early next week. And I looked at her, I said, early next week?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We can stop the bleeding in a couple of hours.
Yeah, we can't. And we were very nice.
Uh-huh.
I was very patient.
Yeah.
Because my wife works in the medical profession. I don't bitch at doctors.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
know more about this than I do. And they could tell, and they could just tell how much pain she was in. They even gave her a shot in the back, not in the spine, not like an epidural,
Yeah.
but in the back, and it did nothing for the pain.
Okay.
Anyway, we got scheduled for an MRI, and we went, and that's when we saw that she, in fact, had a herniated disc that was ginormous.
Oh.
It was just straight into her spine.
Oh.
Or the nerve. And
Yeah.
my God, it was, you looked at it, you'd go, damn.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got that appointment and the doctor prescribed,
A new back.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
We had the medicine that the doctor at the emergency room prescribed. Okay. But again, none of that was touching it.
Okay.
So Friday night, miserable. All day Saturday, miserable. All day Sunday, miserable. Monday, we get in back to see the surgeon. Okay. And the surgeon looks at it and gives her some oxycodone, which oxycodone is your friend.
Yeah.
Gives her some of that, and they look and figure out that they said, we can squeeze you in surgery for Friday. And so
Okay.
we're like, oh my God.
So what does surgery entail with this situation? They go in there and pop that thing?
They're
and
going to
pull it out?
He says it's a minor incision, takes about 20 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically shave off the little piece of the disc that's pressing into the spine, into the nerve.
That sounds like something that I would come up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a very
Seems like it should be more complex than that.
It was a very long week.
Okay.
Very,
But it's
very
pressing in. Okay, now
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. It's
Yeah.
pressing in on the inside of the spine, right? And the
Yeah.
inside of the spinal column onto the. It's pressing on the.
It's outside.
cord outside, pressing in. So they're going to go in and just shave off. Just take a little off the top.
Yeah. I'll show you a picture of the MRI.
Okay.
You'll go, damn.
How do they get in there?
Well, with the scalpel,
Well,
they,
yeah, but-
they make an incision.
Yeah.
And they did laparoscopic surgery.
Okay.
Laparoscopic is when they
Going through the belly button and
No.
Oh.
I don't know
It's
how
like
to
a robot goes in there.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
But how does it get in there? It's got to go in there, right?
yeah,
That's what she said.
they make an incision in the back, in the lower back.
But they got to get into the spinal column. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like a toilet paper roll.
They
and
didn't
they
go
gotta
they didn't go into the nerve. The disc was
Yeah.
pressing the nerve.
Yeah, I get
They didn't
that.
go into the nerve.
But they had to cut in on the interior of the toilet paper roll, which is her spine. This is highly technical discussion.
Yeah.
I just
yes,
don't-
Mike. They cut her toilet paper roll.
So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I don't understand these things.
Well, I don't either.
Yeah.
All I know is they did the surgery.
I do like the fact that the doctor said it's no big deal. I'll do it in 20 minutes. Because every time I've had a consultation,
Right.
when I had my surgery consultation, the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll be in and out of there in 10 minutes."
I asked the doctor, which you know me, I always
Yeah.
ask the best questions.
Yeah.
I said, "How many of these have you done?" And he pauses for a second, and this is where, if I was a doctor, I'd say, "This is my fourth, but man, those first three went great." He says thousands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
I think they all
you've done
say
these,
that.
You've done these thousands.
My medical knowledge goes up to about you remember the old SNL skit with Steve Martin where they're diagnosing people and he's like, you've got an imbalance of bodily humors probably caused by a dwarf or a small toad living in your stomach.
Yeah.
We're going to bleed you. They were bleeding everybody.
Yes. I can't remember the character's name.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, they did the surgery, and the great thing is despite all of this, and I've said this many, many, many times.
She managed to mow the lawn. That's great.
My wife is, honest to God, one of the funniest people I've ever known. And so it's like we had to go to the doctor before you have the surgery. We had to go to our primary care physician, and you have to have a pre-surgery appointment. You have to have an x-ray, you have to have a physical, and then an EKG, and do all these things to make sure that you're physically able to
survive the thing.
And our doctor said, look, unless something insane pops up in this physical day, she says, you're having the surgery.
Yeah.
So this is, and my wife, like I said, has a fantastic sense of humor. She's hysterical. We're leaving that appointment. Okay. She's in just like major pain, and she's in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
She has to go to the bathroom. So I'm wheeling her into the bathroom. And when she was done, I go in there and I'm trying to get the wheelchair out, but the brakes are locked. So I reach over and I unlocked the left brake, and then I'm rolling in circles. I'm like, oh crap, I need to undo the right brake.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm still rolling in circles. So I reach down and I undo the left brake. I'm like, I thought I did this. Turns out my wife, when I'm undoing the left brake,
she's doing the other one. Yeah.
locking the right brake. And then she starts laughing at me because she thinks it's funny that I'm confused.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Libby.
Just like, it's hysterical.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Casey's Lemon Pies. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I'm on the road all the time. While I'm out, I like to grab my favorite snack, a lemon pie at Casey's. Holy crap, these things are delicious. Some people say they taste better than Kern's. Go out and grab a Casey's Lemon Pie today. You'll taste the difference. Casey's Lemon Pies, available at Casey's. Now back to the show.
Before she had the surgery, the surgeon gave her a lot of really good drugs. Okay.
The good stuff. Heisenberg Blue.
Yeah, stuff that actually would help. So I go to the pharmacy to pick up her kick-ass pain medication, and there's a sign on the window, the drive-through, that says the drive-through is not available. Please come inside. I'm like, okay, great. So I go inside, and there's a line, and this was where I think your soulmate was in line in front of me. There's an African-American woman, and she's in line, and she's bitching. Okay. She's bitching up a storm because her medicine wasn't ready. And the pharmacist, God love her, she's being as nice as she can possibly be. And she says, we're trying to get your medication, but we had it ready for you a few weeks ago. You didn't pick it up. And so they had to return it. And the woman's like, so you're telling me that I'm not going to get my medicine? And the pharmacist says, we're getting you your medicine. We just have to create a new order for it. And that's why it's taking the time, because we have to remake it. What you had was returned, okay, because you didn't come and get it.
Yeah.
This is where the lady says, I don't mean to be pushy, but I've got ice cream in the car. And I'm about to die laughing.
God bless this woman.
I'm about to die laughing because I'm like,
real concern.
Mike never would have left it in the car.
No, I wouldn't have done. Yeah, I mean, good Lord.
The lady behind her is this elderly woman, and she gets her medicine, and she starts bitching because she didn't get her discount. She goes, "Where's my discount?" Oh. And the lady, the nice pharmacist, said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know what you mean by discount. It's Senior Tuesday. On Senior Tuesday, seniors get a discount. You guys should know about that." And pharmacist says, this is the first I'm hearing about it. And she asks the other pharmacist, and the other pharmacist
says, is this a pharmacy only thing?
Yeah.
The Senior Tuesday, or is it everywhere?
Yeah. The other pharmacist said, I don't know what she's talking about. They called the manager. Yeah. The manager comes back there and goes, oh yeah. On Senior Tuesday, you do get a discount. And the lady's like, yeah, you need to teach all your employees about Senior Tuesday. And the lady behind me goes, oh, Jesus.
Oh, there's my soulmate.
Yes. And I'm sitting there or standing there in line thinking, if there's anybody who should be bitching,
Yeah.
it would be me, because my wife is home
Yeah.
in the worst pain she's ever been in, waiting for oxycodone, and you have ice cream in the car, and you didn't get 10% off because you're 85 years old.
Yeah, the lady with the ice cream should be disqualified from getting anything because she clearly doesn't respect the ice cream. The Senior Tuesday scares me because what if a senior signs up for our Patreon today? Does that mean we have to give them a Senior Tuesday discount? I'm not doing it.
No. The lady with the ice cream, the other pharmacist came up and he said, your stuff will be ready in a couple minutes. Do you mind having a seat? She goes, no, I'm going to stand here.
I'll show you.
And I'm like,
you son of a bitch.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. So it was fun getting Libby her medication, but I did give it to her.
Okay,
I got it and brought it home.
That's good.
When Libby takes her medication, she gets really goofy.
Uh-huh.
She was telling my mom a story, and she has both hands up, right?
Yeah.
Like she's holding a baby. And she's just got both her hands, and she's talking. And then she goes, oh, I'm sorry. This is a visual. She's jacked up on oxycodone.
Yeah.
In a minute, I'm going to tell you some of the things she said while on oxycodone.
Okay.
This is why I love nurses. Okay, so after Libby does her surgery and she's in recovery and she's woken up and she's had a little bit of food and she's stood up and she's able to move around a little bit, the nurse asks me, she says, do you have any questions, sir? I said, yeah, when can she start cleaning house again? She looks and
That's not funny.
Without even blinking, she goes, oh, today?
Yeah.
Yeah, today. At the very latest tomorrow. It was great. Another example of Libby and her great sense of humor. When I took her that morning to the hospital to get her surgery.
Yeah.
You know, they wheel her back and they do all the things, and they're like, "We'll get you in a second before she goes in for surgery." The nurse walks out and she says, "Darren," and I get up and I walk in. She goes, "Your wife asked me to call you Darvin." She says, "I'll pay you money if you call him Darvin," but she didn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You ruined a really good joke,
Yeah.
nurse." Whatever your name is, Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you pay her? Did you give her the money?
No, it would have
All
been funny if she'd called me Darvin, but she didn't.
Okay. Can I interject us?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, okay. So Libby was on her oxycodone, okay? And whenever she takes her pain meds, she has something really important to tell you. The look in her face was like, you got to know this. She looked at me and she said, put cheese on the casserole and put it in the oven. Oh, no. He jumped on that turtle, lost his nose, and now I can't do that thing. You don't need the nose. You know what I'm saying? You can't just take off the nose and do it separate. What am I talking about? Got to do something with that nose. Then she says, have you ever looked at a watermelon and all the air holes? The texture of it. Do you hear that? That's the best texture ever. Pop, 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 pop. You know, for your mouth. And me and the boys are just sitting around her like ooh, mom's gonna tell more stories around the campfire.
Mom's on acid today.
I am. It's like I can't wait until she feels better.
Yeah.
But I'm really gonna miss Oxycodone Mama. I love Oxycodone Mama. She's great. If I can be serious for a second, you and your wife sent us dinner.
Yeah,
the other night.
Like I said, I fought against it.
Well, still. So thank you to Bess for bringing us dinner. Chris and Mary next door brought us some food.
Well, that's nice.
Neighbors, Nancy and Gary, they had a walker that Libby has borrowed, and she's used it to get around the house. And then Jason and Aaron Durbin have checked on us over and over and over again. Then my other neighbor, Rob. I mean, it's like so many people have reached out.
They're just hoping you're dead and they can come in and just loot the place. I don't trust those Durbins.
So many people have reached out and asked about Libby and how she's doing and if they can do anything. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Libby is feeling better. She's able to get up on her own.
Yeah.
She's wobbly when she walks. She still can't feel her right foot very well.
I'm going to ask her. I'm going to bring a toilet paper roll and ask her to use visuals to explain what they did to her spine because I'm still confused.
I'll show you the picture.
Yeah.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
That's right.
I mentioned that Jacob had college orientation.
Indeed.
The University of Cincinnati, the Blue Ash campus.
Yeah.
So Libby and I went with Jacob to orientation. It was an all-day thing. It was a long day. And we're there and we're walking around, we're filling out forms and stuff. And there was one form we're trying to figure out. And the lady says, yeah, just put your 6+2 and then your 4-digit code. And I said, you do your what? She goes, yeah, you put your 6+2 on there. Like, so I put 8 on there. She goes, no, your 6+2. The first 6 letters of your last name, and then the 2 letters of your first name. I'm like, I don't have 6 letters in my last name.
Pisses me. And here, allow me a moment. I'm sorry I'm interrupting your story, but this really ticks me off. It's the same as when you've got somebody that's, you ever been around somebody and they've got an inside joke, and then they just start saying the inside joke to other people, and they're like looking at you and kind of winking, like, you see, they don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, they don't know what you're talking about, and you look like a lunatic right now. You're embarrassing me with this. Stop it. It's the same thing they do with that. Every college has those things. Get your white and gray and come on. What the hell's my white and gray?
Yeah. That's all you have to do is put your first 6 letters of your last name and then the first 2 of your first name. Yeah. And then fill it. Your 6+2. Yeah. Like we're supposed to freaking know what she means. Yeah. So there was that. This is the part of the day where Libby said the funniest thing that I've heard, I think, in all the years I've known her. We had, it was like hour 7 of orientation, and we've got one last thing to do. Jacob was going to see where all his classrooms were, and then there was going to be like one other thing he had to sit through before he gets his college ID. At this time, this is where any parents would go, and I don't know if it's like a parent support group or what. I don't know what it was. I didn't go to it, and I'll tell you why. Okay. We're walking down the hall, and my wife is just amazed, and she says, man, they've got a lot of racehorses here. And I said, what did you say? She says, they've got a lot of resources here. I said, oh, I thought you said they have a lot of racehorses. She goes, yeah, Darren, they've got a lot of racehorses here. And then she starts naming racehorses, like Inside Edition on the right track. And Mike, I'm crying. I am crying. I cannot breathe. I'm laughing so hard. But yeah, Darren, they've got a lot of racehorses here. And I'm trying to explain to her, like, that's why I was confused. Yeah. Like, why in the hell would she talk about racehorses? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so we go and we sit in this auditorium, and there's a lady there, and she's talking about all these things that parents can do to, they want to help their student with this. They go to this website, whatever. I've got tears coming out of my eyes. I'm covering my face. I'm trying not to laugh. Yeah. And then I look over, and Libby looks at me like, stop it. And then I had to get up. And I walked out. I just left. And I'm in the hallway, and I'm laughing so hard. And this is when Jacob and a group of his fellow future students of America are walking down. I had to walk all the way down the hall and then go into a bathroom so that I could laugh so hard so I wouldn't embarrass him. I'm trying not to embarrass her. I'm trying not to embarrass him. All because I thought Libby said racehorses. Okay. Yeah, Darren, there's a lot of racehorses here. God, the look she gave me was hysterical.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whoppers All-Beef Footlong Hot Dogs. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and Whoppers are my favorite hot dogs of all time. Even Shadow Stevens agrees.
Nothing tastes better at a cookout than a Whoppers All-Beef Footlong Hot Dog.
Thanks, Shadow. Go online and order a family pack of Whoppers today at WhoppersAllBeefFootlongHotDogs.com. Get a ruler and measure it yourself. If your hot dog isn't a foot long, they'll give you your money back guaranteed. Now, back to the show.
Paul Reubens passed away.
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman.
I was one of the biggest fans of Pee Wee Herman. Okay. I still have my pull-string Pee Wee Herman action figure doll. All right. It's in my basement, okay? Yeah. I remember watching him on Letterman. Yeah. And just always thought he was hysterical.
Did you see the HBO special that started with...
After. I saw that after. Later, I saw him on Letterman first, and then I saw... That was the Pee Wee Herman show. Okay? Yeah. So I saw that afterwards. But when Pee Wee's Big Adventure came out, I could not wait to go.
Oh, Pee Wee's Big Adventure is an absolute
classic.
It's
a classic. It's one of the best movies
Who's
ever.
the director? It kind of
Tim Burton.
That kind of like started his career too.
Exactly.
Beetlejuice and all that stuff.
Yeah. Batman were like the first 3. Like, come on, really? Those are your first 3 movies?
Yeah. I tell you what,
Phil Hartman co-wrote that with Paul Reubens.
Really?
Yes.
He was in the HBO special too.
Yeah. Well, he was Cowboy Carl in the theater version, and then he was Zombie
Yeah.
on the Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
And they had a falling out.
No.
They had a big falling out. Apparently, Paul, when he created, whether it's the Saturday morning show or something, Phil Hartman created that character with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Paul Rubens went on and did a lot of things to Pee Wee Herman without him. And Phil felt that he was, missing a lot of coin off of that.
Yeah.
Understandably. Crazy story, not to the extreme of Pee Wee Herman and Paul Rubens. But my buddy who, we used to write the JD's 24-hour drive-through pawn and gun auto parts, pharmaceutical, adult gift, bait and tackle, discount, cigarette outlet spots. He created that. I helped him get it to a point where that it became, it started being played on John Boy and Billy. And then he wanted to go on his own. I was like, okay, all right. You're welcome. Yeah. And we had a falling out.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know why, but, Pee Wee and Phil Hartman reminded me of that a lot. Yeah. But anyway, it broke my heart when Pee Wee Herman died. It just broke. I always thought he was hysterical. The Saturday morning show was fantastic. Just amazing.
I remember watching it. I remember my big thing was the special. See, I saw the HBO special before anything else. So when I saw that they were coming out with an actual kid show, I was like, oh, can they do that? Because it's, because the HBO special was almost, it was like a kid, it was like a parody of a kid show. There was a lot of adult themes in that. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. But the most impressed I've been with him was in the movie Blow. You've seen the movie with Johnny
Depp.
I was like, holy, that's one of my favorite movies anyway.
Yeah.
But then like when he came on the screen, I was like, oh, that's Pee-wee. Because, Pee Wee went away for a while.
Yes,
and
he
then
did.
He came. That was like when he was coming back.
Yes, he did.
And I was like, wow, he's actually got range. You can put him on screen and him not be in the gray suit doing the thing.
There's a hilarious episode of 30 Rock with him on it.
Okay.
Yeah, where there's like royalty and he's the king's or queen's son or something.
Yeah,
who's like really.
And I never watched the show Gotham, but I mean, all this stuff comes out when he dies. I guess he was in the show Gotham.
Yeah.
Was he the Penguin or?
Well, he was the Penguin's father in Batman Returns.
Really?
No, not Batman Returns. Batman Returns. Michael Keaton. Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito was a Penguin. Paul Rubens was.
Paul Rubens was his father.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's
I've only seen it once.
Like the opening scene of the movie is where we see the creation of the Penguin.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, he was amazing.
He did stuff.
Yeah, he did. He really did. And man, I just hate that he's gone. Yeah. Really. And he had cancer for 6 or 7 years and didn't tell anybody.
It's like Norm.
Yes, just like Norm Macdonald.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Yeah, I had no idea.
And then another one that actually affected me was Sinead O'Connor. I always liked Sinead O'Connor.
Really? Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
I really did. I never got into the music, but I always liked, when I would see her, I liked the she did a song with The Edge. I think I sent it to you guys.
Yes.
The Edge and Larry Mullen.
Yes.
Her and U2 were always doing things together and hanging out. Yes, I mentioned the band that shall not be named.
Yeah. It's been a while. That's fine.
The beauty of Spotify is that you put an artist in and you just push play and it'll just start grabbing things here and there.
Yeah.
And I did that with her. And I was like, okay, I like that song. I was like, nothing compares to you. Okay, I heard that like 15 million times. Skip.
But you know what? No matter how many other times I heard that, that's one of the songs that I never really got tired of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, everything that was playing from her, I was like, I should have. So I came to the end. I got through like 8 or 9 songs. I'm like, I should have been a fan. There's so much music out there, and this happens to me every once in a while.
Yeah.
I became, I don't go off on too far of a tangent, but I came to Rush. Mm-hmm. Like I years and years ago, I was like, the data suggests that I should be a Rush fan,
on
but
paper,
I'm not. On paper, I should be.
In theory.
So I just started listening to him, and I became a Rush fan.
Yeah, I joined the Rush fan club way too late.
Luckily, that happened, when I was still able to see them.
Yeah.
I should have been a Sinead fan. I would have if she were touring right now, I would make an effort to go see her.
Yeah.
I would.
I always wonder if, why. I know Prince made a lot of money off of her recording that song.
Okay.
And it's not like he had a deficit of songs to record.
Yeah.
But it's like, I wonder when he recorded or wrote that song for her and then she did it and it catapulted to #1, if he's like, damn, maybe I should have Maybe I should have done so. Same thing with Manic Monday by the Bangles.
Yeah.
And he wrote that song for them and it went #1.
Yeah.
And you know he's making all the money off of it, but
Yeah.
still. And what's crazy is after Sinead died, they were talking about Nothing Compares to You. So Prince is dead, Sinead is dead, and then Chris Cornell, my favorite, is dead. And he did an amazing version of Nothing Compares to You. Just incredible. So, yeah. Let me say one more thing about Libby.
Okay.
We recently rediscovered Snoop Dogg narrating Animal Planet. Okay. It popped up on the TikTok one day and I was like, oh my God. And I showed it to Libby and the boys and they were just dying laughing. It's if you haven't seen Snoop Dogg narrating Animal Planet, after this podcast is over with, go and listen to it. It's hysterical. So we're in the hospital. We're talking to the nurses, and Libby is still. This is after her surgery, so she's still recovering from all the hoo-ha, that they've done, and she's loopy, as the kids say. She's loopy AF. Okay,
Yeah.
And the nurse is there talking about, you need to do this and need to do this. And Libby's like, have you seen Snoop Dogg on the Animal Planet? And the nurse says, no, I haven't. And Libby goes, those snakes are straight up assholes.
I was going to ask when that was coming in.
And the nurse is like, yes, they are. I bet the nurses love. I bet they've got to love their job.
Yeah.
When people are just goofy as hell. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this episode up. We want you to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. And by the way, thank you.
Oh, Lord.
Good Lord. We had, I think we set our record like one day last week.
Don't say the number. People will be like, oh, just that.
It's
big for us.
We had an astronomical number of downloads in one day.
Yeah.
So I think it was like 3 people decided to download every episode twice.
Yeah.
So thank you. It's really, really cool. And if you want to support the show, you can go to Patreon and you can donate $1 or $2. And you get bonus stuff.
You get stuff.
Yeah.
I just put some more stuff up there today.
If you want to go to our merch section, you can get, you know what? Shadow Stevens, Haywood Banks, Patrick Cronin, they all have really cool Irritable Dad Syndrome coffee mugs. You can get one just like it. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening, and we hope to see you next time on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Before we go, we want to hear what you think of our show. Leave us a message on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram page. Thanks. Now I'm going to eat some cheese. See you next week.
There you go. Yeah.
Nothing but laughs and yucks over here, folks.
What is these animals? Them the ones that eat snakes, huh? Is them mongooses? Oh, wow. It's about 12 of them, cuz they done back the gator up. I ain't never seen a gator get punked by no mongooses. Retreat. Yeah, back up, fool. Get deep.